Good afternoon. Welcome to the show today, and thank you for being here. How is everyone today? I hope everyone is awesome. Today, I have a very, very special guest on the show today. She is a former mixed martial arts fighter and pro wrestler, and a 13-time champion and ECW original wrestler. Let's welcome on the show today Angel Orsini, which is a very awesome friend of mine. We go back way back. How are you doing today, Angel?
I'm doing great, Joy. It's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you. I haven't seen you in so long. We got so much to catch up on. So let's just start off. I'm so excited. We really want to hear so much information. I know a lot about you, but I want my viewers to know more about you. And can you please tell us a little bit about your pro wrestling career?
Well, so I started off in martial arts and I had been an instructor and competitor and student for years and years. And I actually was a professional mixed martial arts fighter. And then through my fighting, was introduced to women's pro wrestling when I was in Japan fighting. Um,
Oh,
It
that's
was
cool.
a pretty amazing experience just to go overseas and represent my country and get to fight. But I met so many extraordinary female athletes, and many of them were women lady
Wow.
wrestlers, pro wrestlers. And so they inspired me so much that when I came back from my trip to Japan, I sought out Liz Chase, who was the only female wrestler I knew, and
Yes.
what a great
Liz.
female wrestler to know. She was trained by the fabulous Moolah, and so she was my teacher. And during the course of my training, I was introduced to Joni Lee Lauer, who everybody would know as China. And
Oh,
I
very
finished,
cool.
yeah, she was an amazing athlete. Oh my goodness. What an athlete. I mean, just astounding. I would have the privilege to go to the gym and work out with her and see the
Yeah.
weights that she was throwing around. I mean, amazing. So she ended up being my very first pro match. I got to debut against her.
That should have been interesting, I'll tell you.
It was amazing. She beat the stuffing out of me for your first time, man. You know, when somebody's 6 foot and they pick you up over their head and toss you around,
Yeah, she was a big
and
girl,
no matter
boy.
how much
God bless her
training,
soul.
no matter how much training you have, that's still you feel it. um,
Absolutely.
and so I got to also work with Luna Vachon because she lived in the neighborhood and we had been friends already before that. So once I started pro wrestling, she kind of took me under her wing and uh, got me started. And I was still doing mixed martial arts fighting. So, and I also was competing in bodybuilding during that same time from 1996 to 1999. And of course, we became friends during that time. So,
Yes,
uh,
that was a very cool time. I got to go to all the shows in Miami and all over the place. Woo! Cheering you on.
it was
So,
great. It was so empowering,
yeah,
to, but it was difficult. But I digress. Let me continue. Some other highlights of mine career were right after that in 1999, getting hired by ECW and getting to go on the road and do TV
hmm,
for my job. That was awesome. And being in ECW, even getting to go to a ECW show was awesome every night. Um,
yes,
and I got
absolutely.
then I also started to specialize kind of in entangling myself with matches that would forced me to kind of wrestle men or get engaged with
Very
them
cool.
during the time. And that was kind of
All right.
groundbreaking at the time, 1999. There were not a lot of women who were wrestling men, um, but everybody wanted to see it. And
I want to see it.
so I was honored to get to do that. I actually carried a belt in different parts of the world, one in Europe and one in America, where my only competitors were men, and I was the champion of those leagues. And that's,
Very cool.
it was very cool. And women everywhere that were fans were so into it. And so were the men, because they were like, we know women can do this. And it's great to see you do that. Thank you so much. But then there was backlash. There were people who
Oh
didn't
yeah,
like it. There were women who didn't like it. And there were men who didn't like it. And
I
I made
bet.
some people really mad, but I didn't stop me. I knew what I needed to do.
Hmm.
And and then I really got known for doing like the hardcore style because of the time I spent in ECW. So I was doing steel cage matches and ladders, tables, and chairs, and doing more like stunts, where we would set
Hmm.
things on fire, and it was a little bit crazy, but
So
I
long,
loved
so basically, so basically, long before Ronda Rousey, there you were doing both MMA and pro wrestling. Did you feel, obviously, as you're saying, you felt obstacles following your dreams in the industry because you're a woman. So basically, the environment for the industry for the women was what, like what? What you're basically telling me now, it was very difficult.
it was pretty structured. They were used
Hmm.
to everybody does it this way, and this is
Yeah,
what we expect, and a lot of hair pulling and smacking. And I was
girly
like,
stuff.
no, I wasn't trained that way. I'm
Not
sorry.
gonna have that.
Somebody told me.
We're not
So,
gonna do that.
yeah, I fought like a man because I come from martial arts, and in martial arts, you're taught, when somebody grabs you from behind, they're not going to care that you're a woman and they're a guy. They're doing it to do
Hmm.
something to
Good
you,
point.
and you need to save your life. So you have to handle them like, listen, this is somebody who may be trying to kill me, and you handle that person with extreme prejudice. It doesn't
Exactly.
matter. You defend yourself, and you don't stop until you are safe, and that's that. And so that carried
Hmm.
over into my pro wrestling as my style. And so I that's who I am. And I felt like, having this gift, this talent, this ability, and um that I'm going to use it for its purpose, which is to show people, that women are stronger than you think, and they have
Yeah.
a right to display their talents and gifts in the authentic way that they have them, because that's what they're blessed with. And so,
And
yeah,
so much with
I
women,
ran
so
into
much
a
from
lot of
women being
obstacles.
weak.
Yeah, no, women are not weak. We are far from it. That is a lie if people believe that. You're as strong as you believe in yourself to be. And I
Exactly.
believed in my dream, and I had a hope, and I knew that one day, I was going to be champion of a lot of things. And I just kept on overcoming those obstacles and doing things the right way, not taking any shortcuts, training extra
Yeah.
hard and working hard, and kept getting doors open to me. And I got to keep performing, and people wanted to see me perform. So it was great. And so
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
just kept
I
going.
know I loved watching you. I loved it. It was great. I got the honor. I got a lot of pictures of you, as a matter of fact. So, being that it was so difficult to pursue your dream, and most dreams are difficult to pursue, What was your motivation that got you started in the first place? As you said, basically a little bit about it, but was it just that it was a dream that your motivation, or was it something else that not just, that you liked martial arts or liked fighting, you know? What what
Yeah.
what's what was more the motivation?
Yeah, it was definitely something else. Uh, so, you know, I got started in martial arts not because I wanted to become a professional fighter. It was a journey of healing and taking back
Hmm.
my life. I had a really bad childhood. When I was super young, I was verbally and physically abused from age 4 till I was about 6. And um, I healed myself. But then when I was 19 and just getting on my own, I had a really terrible
Yeah.
experience where I was attacked and I was almost murdered by a serial
Wow.
murdering person. And I looked just like other girls who had been killed in the woods, close to where I lived. And I unfortunately encountered this person and literally fought for hours. And yeah, I had this terrible kind of traumatic experience, and I had a lot of anxiety, actually terror afterwards. And
Oh, absolutely.
so you go through an experience like that and you understand how vulnerable you are and how powerless. But then there's a certain point where you can either just hide from the world
Hmm.
in various ways that there are to hide in this world through drugs or
Hmm.
alcohol
Yeah.
or overeating or over sexing or over shopping. Just it gets you
Yes.
out of kilter because it really takes over you, and it robs you of hope and light
Hmm.
and purpose because
Yes.
you're just so hung up in the past you can't break free from it. And so for me, I came to a point where I was like, I'm sick and tired of this. I'm not, no way. I'm not settling for darkness. I'm in the pit now, but I could see that there's light up there.
Yeah.
There's a hole that I could dig my way out of this.
Amen.
I'm not going to settle for darkness, so I found martial arts as a way to take back my life. And there's a certain
Excellent.
philosophy that kind of goes hand in hand with martial arts, and it really is a goal setting type of philosophy. The
Hmm.
first thing they teach you is can't is not in your vocabulary.
I
And
like that. I just said that to my son last night, yesterday, because I can't. I said, don't say that. That's not in your vocabulary. I like that. Hear that, Ephraim? My son's over here. Woohoo!
if you're
Good,
willing to work
good.
hard, you can achieve anything. And it really is a matter
Yeah.
of just focus and awareness, and just it's a mountain right in the beginning, and it's so daunting, whatever your goal is, whatever you're facing. But just like any mountain, you can get through that mountain. Okay, you just have to dig some dirt out of there. And every day you go in and you dig and you dig and you pile up a truckload of dirt. And then you get in the truck and you drive it away and bring that truck back
Yes.
and load it up. In the beginning, it doesn't look like much. It still looks like, whoa, this is this huge mountain. But you know what? Pretty soon, if you do it through diligence and persistence
Yes.
and consistency, then you will end up moving that mountain. It's out of there before you know it.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it's great
It's
when you keep
yeah.
at it, you get about a quarter of the way and you could start to
Hmm.
see, oh, there is hope, you know? And this is kind of just like a metaphor for it, but um, I found my way through diligence, consistency, and persistency, and never letting go. And I believe that that's what's made me a good fighter.
Absolutely.
And I ever since then, not only did I get healed, but there in there carved my purpose. And I found not only myself, but I found a way to be inspirational and healing for others because they saw me do it and
Yes.
achieve it. And from me performing, because as I was going on the way, yeah, my goals changed. Not only did I want to become a black belt, then an instructor, but then, yeah, I was like, wow, I'm good enough. I could be a pro, and nothing's going to stop me from becoming a professional. And then my goals change, and I want to be a pro wrestler
Yeah,
and get
you
on
got a
TV.
great story, and that's a
Right.
great story for a lot of people because there's so many children and so many people that experience what you experienced. And I mean, I experienced some things myself. I'm not a professional fighter, but I can definitely kick some butt. And it was just that, my childhood and that choice to say no, I want this for my life. And I saw people living a good life and, and whole and experienced, the same things. And I'm like, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it. And I believe that that is so important for us to take our pain that we went through in our childhood or whatever in our adulthood and change that around for the good and actually not only help ourselves but help other people.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
you even when I came back from ECW, I got into that car accident. And remember, I was like
Yes.
temporarily
Shortly after you
paralyzed.
came to visit. Yep.
Yes. I wasn't supposed to stay permanently. I was supposed to go back on
No.
the road and big detour, and I have to be grateful for the road that I had before that, right? I had already experienced losing everything and being so broken that when I couldn't walk and I was temporarily paralyzed those 2 weeks, I was like, no way, I'll come back from this. I've been here before. I've lost everything
Yeah.
already and almost lost my mind big time. And not only did I heal, but I ended up whoosh with all of these learning more about myself. So you can't take that knowledge and wisdom away. And that
Mm-mm.
only inspired me more. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to show all the doctors who said I never would wrestle again. I'm going to end up with more championships after this because I'm going to get in even better shape. And I did. And I ended up with
Yeah.
like 10 more championship belts, world championship belts, let alone the other cool places that I got to go all over the world, live in other
That
countries.
goes, yeah, that goes to show you that you got we got it in us. We just have to make that choice and not be, stuck in that, oh, woe is me, or we're gonna stay there. It's all a choice. And we both have a very strong will, which really helps, is having that really strong will that says, you know what, for me, I know for me is when somebody says I can't, or something comes against me that I know to make me stop doing what I want to do, boy, I fight harder. I mean, it just makes me want to be more fierce. And I know that's how you are as well. So,
That's why
Angel,
my smile got bigger. I
oh,
am the
absolutely.
3Fs. That's what I call
So
it, the
let me
three
ask
F.
you something. Are you,
Fearless, fierce, and fabulous.
that's right, girl. That's right. So are you done with wrestling and martial arts or do you have future plans? What's your future
Oh no, I'm
plans?
not done. I'm always
Good.
going to be a martial artist. Yeah, I've learned the
I want to
sword,
see you kick
and
some more
now
butt.
yeah, I've learned the sword, and now I'm freestyling with learning how to use two swords at one time. Um, I got into acting and producing. So I've been in some films and independent films, and I've been doing some fight scene choreography for other people. And I'm actually getting in shape again to go back in the ring. I'm going to do some spots in pro wrestling again. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that for sure, for sure.
And of
So
course, that's not the only thing. I mean, that's only in that part of it. The other aspect of the future for me and where I really, really want to go with things, and you and I will be joining forces actually
yes,
in this endeavor, which is to have a lifestyle of life coaching and meditation, health and fitness. And we're going to start a podcast, and
yes,
we're going to share all that wisdom that we have in these areas, and inspire people to not only overcome the obstacles, but I hope that I will hear people doing even greater things than I was able to achieve with
yes.
just some encouragement and some of the foundational concepts that I learned along the way that really helped me always stay on track.
Yes, and we were roommates, so we're very familiar with each other. Thank God we got along awesome. I mean, we really got to know each other, so there's nothing, no surprises. You know,
No, no
we both have
surprises.
that great bubbly, bubbly, personalities. We got a lot to share. We got a lot of experiences. We have a lot of funny stories. That is for sure. We got a lot to catch up on some. So I know about myself. I'm gonna be sharing some really cool stories in the future for sure, for sure. And like yourself, I really have that passion from what I've been experiencing, even just after my divorce, I had been through a really, really bad experience where I was at a weak point and I went into an area where I almost died. And it was that experience where it really changed my life and like what I would attract before, I don't attract anymore. And and I know I've changed because when it comes near me or those personalities come near me, I know exactly what to say and they leave immediately. So I know I've grown and I want to help people. I want really, and like yourself, I want to help people to overcome like I've overcome. And I'm not there yet. I got a lot of work to do, but we're
Well,
getting
we
there.
all
We're getting there. So let me ask you, how can people connect with you and find out what you're up to keep in touch with you on what's going on?
So I'm on Facebook. I'm the Angel Orsini on Facebook, and I'm also on Twitter, the Angel Orsini, and I have a website. We will definitely have a big portion page on my website for our podcast and more information about that. It's www.angelorsini.net.
Okay.
And
And actually,
I just
anything
wanted to
else you got
add,
for us?
I just
Sorry, my
wanted to
phone's
add
ringing over
that,
there.
with everybody going through so much darkness, that this is the time for people like you and I to let our light shine bright, because I think
Yes.
people are being exposed to all kinds of negativity, and they just need to hear stories and remember that there's always hope no matter how dark it looks. you know
Yes.
the light always overwhelms darkness, always, always.
Absolutely.
And
Hmm.
so we are going to help people stay encouraged during this time of darkness, and not just us shining our lights, but we're going to spark the light in other people's souls so that their dreams can be
Yes.
realized, and we're going to help them get there with some really tangible understanding and information for them to latch onto and get carried up through this darkness into their light and into their purpose. you know it's going to be
Yeah.
exciting. I can't wait to hear all the
I'm
stories.
excited. Oh yeah, we got a lot of catching up. Yeah, and I just heard some preacher. He was on a podcast, and he was saying like 3 out of 5 people are lonely, are alone, lonely. So that can mean they're still married, that can mean they have kids or what have you. So this is like, I believe this is like the perfect time for this because let's face it, when you're driving on the road, you're not going to watch a screen. So I know I listen to tons of podcasts, with different people to motivate myself. Even though I'm a very motivated person, I also need to be motivated. We all need to be constantly motivated. So this is like couldn't have been a better time than now to start something to really help people, to pursue their dreams, to realize that there's hope out there, to realize that there's people that really care about them, that they're not alone. There's people experiencing the same thing they are. And I know that we're probably going to, have a group. We're going to have groups where we can, people can ask us questions and what have you. And I really want it like a community. I want people to really tune into knowing that there is somebody that really loves them out there and cares about them. So that being said, we got a couple more minutes. I mean, if you want to get in touch with me, well, you can get joy.mobipop.info.com. You want to find more information about myself, that is a digital business card. So if you want to find out a little bit more, and if you have any questions, you can email me at fitnessforjoyusa@gmail.com. So, Angel, is there anything else you'd like to share before our show will be ending in a couple minutes?
Um, I just want to say thank you so much. I'm so
Oh,
glad
you're
that
welcome. I'm so
we
excited.
connected. I'm excited for the future. I really appreciate this time, and I'm looking forward to working with you more and putting together the programs. You have so much information about workouts. You are an amazing coach. People may not know this, but not only were we roommates, but we used to go to the gym and
Yeah.
work out together. Right. And remember, Joy, when we
Yes.
would do we would get really rowdy. And not only were we get rowdy with our motivating each other, where we would just be like, come on, you can do it. And we'd be, but we were lifting
Like
such
these
heavy
girls.
that we would make the guys move away, and they would change from training
Yeah.
chest and doing bench press day.
Well, going,
And all of
ooh,
a sudden
baby,
they
how
would
you
move
doing? They
over
go,
to
oh,
the
I'm
weight
getting away
room.
from you girls.
They were just like, these girls are just too much. They're making us look bad.
That was fun. Oh my God,
That
that
was
was great.
awesome. And I'll tell
Oh,
you, I was in the best shape of my life and did that bodybuilding contest in 99, in part because you were my training partner, and you really inspired me and helped me stay in shape and
yeah.
get
And
to that
we're
next level.
keeping you out of that and keeping you out of the kitchen so you wouldn't eat the wrong foods.
Yes.
And I'm
And
glad
now
I got
I'm
all those
vegan.
pictures I sent you. I got all those pictures I sent you. I bet you didn't realize I had all those bodybuilding pictures from the show. I actually have more. I just got to look for them. I know I have more stuff
I
from
appreciate that.
Daytona. Yeah, I got Daytona pictures when she had me in the back of a Harley, one of those Harleys with the big, they're all the way up here, and I'm in the back. Woohoo!
That was such
That
a
was
nice bike.
fun.
Oh my God. I'll never forget
That was
getting to
great.
drive that around. That thing was gorgeous, soft tail purple with purple flames on it. Oh my goodness. It had the ape hangers. Oh yeah, it was rocking out.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna say, oh no, they're Harley girls. Watch out. All right,
Oh,
Angel.
life
Well,
is
thank you
more
so
than just
much. I think we
that.
got 1 minute to go, but thank you so much for joining me today. It was a great show. We got so much more to cover, and you'll be seeing that on and hearing that on our podcast. So be looking for that. And again, Angel, give us your contact information one more time, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. My email, my Twitter is the Angel Orsini, and my Facebook is also the Angel Orsini, and my website is www.angelorsini.net.
Okay. Well, thank you, Angel. Talk to you soon. Love you.
Love you too, Joy. Thank you so much. Namaste.
All right.